Alright, now that we learned how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam with a concentrated load applied to it, it's time to learn how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam like this, which is subjected to a concentrated moment. So again, we have the same beam here, total length is 6 meters, but instead of that concentrated load, we have a counterclockwise moment with a magnitude of 24 kilonewton meter applied at a point C located at a distance 2 meters from the left end. Alright, similar to the previous examples, we start solving the problem by drawing the free body diagram of the beam. So this is our beam. This is point A. This is point C, and this is point B. We have a counterclockwise moment here with a magnitude of 24 kilonewton meter. At point A, we have a pin support, so this is AY, this is AX, and point B is a roller support, so we only have BY, and these are our dimensions. Now in the second step, we have to write the equations of equilibrium and determine these support reactions. So step 2, in the x direction, the only force we have is this AX. So if we write sigma Fx equal to 0 in this direction, we have AX plus 0 is equal to 0, and this will give us AX equal to 0. In the y direction, we have AY and BY, so AY plus BY is equal to 0. Finally, if we write the equations of equilibrium around any point, for example, point A, in this direction, we have this concentrated moment, or 24, plus BY multiplied by this distance, or 6, is equal to 0. And this will give us a BY equal to negative 4 kilonewton. And now, if we put this BY in this equation, we have AY minus 4 is equal to 0, and this will give us an AY equal to 4 kilonewton. So this will be our free body diagram with our two support reactions. And now, using this free body diagram and the principles I explained in the beginning of the video, we can draw the shear force and bending moment diagrams using the graphical method. Alright, let's start with the shear diagram. At point A, we have an upward or positive concentrated load with a magnitude of 4 kilonewton. So at this point, we're going to have an upward jump. This is positive 4. From point A to point B, we don't have any concentrated loads applied, and we don't have any distributed loads applied, so the shear force will remain constant, and we can draw this a straight line. And finally, at point B, we have a downward or negative concentrated load with a magnitude of 4 kilonewton. So we're going to have a downward jump, which will bring us back to shear force equal to 0. And now, based on this shear diagram, we can draw our moment diagram as well. At point A, we don't have any concentrated moments, so we won't have any jump in the moment diagram at point A. And this will be our MA. Now, from point A to point B, they have this concentrated moment, which is applied at point C. So we're going to have a jump here in our moment diagram, and we won't be able to calculate the change in moment between these 2 points using the third principle because of this concentrated moment. So we have to break down this distance AB into two smaller sections, AC and CB. Between A and C, we don't have any concentrated moments applied. So we can say that delta M between point A and C is equal to this area, which is equal to positive 4 multiplied by this distance, or 2, or 8 kilonewton meter. Now, MC will be equal to MA plus delta MAC, and we know MA was equal to 0, so this will be equal to 0 plus 8, or 8 kilonewton meter. We can assume that 8 is somewhere around here. This is positive 8. Now, using the fourth principle, we know that the slope of our moment diagram at any point between these 2 points will be the intensity of our shear at that point, and the intensity is constant, equal to 4. So the slope of our moment diagram between our point A and point C will remain constant, equal to positive 4, and we can draw a straight line. We can see that the slope of this line is positive 8 divided by 2, or positive 4, which is equal to this value here. And now at point C, we have a counterclockwise moment. So we know that we are going to have a negative or downward jump in our moment diagram. Our MC was equal to positive 8. We have a negative concentrated moment with a magnitude of 24. So positive 8 minus 24 will bring us to a moment equal to negative 16. So we're going to have something like this. And this is negative 16. Between these 2 points C and B, we don't have any other concentrated moments applied. So the change in moment between these 2 points can be determined by calculating this area. So delta M between C and B, or this area here, we have positive 4 again, multiplied by this distance, or 4 meters, which is 16 kilonewton meter. So MB is equal to MC plus delta MCB, or negative 16 plus 16, or 0. So this will be our MB. And now again, using the fourth principle, we can say that at any point between these 2 points C and B, the slope of our moment diagram will be equal to the intensity of our shear at that point. And this intensity is constantly equal to positive 4. So we can connect these 2 points by drawing a straight line. And the slope of our moment diagram is equal to 16 divided by 4, or positive 4. You can see that these 2 lines have the same slope because the intensity of our shear diagram was the same. So these are how your shear force and bending moment diagrams will look like for this simply supported beam with a total length of 6 meters and a counterclockwise moment with a magnitude of 24 kilonewton meter applied at a distance 2 meters from the left end. We have an upward concentrated load at point A, so an upward jump. There's no other concentrated loads or distributed loads applied in between, so shear will remain constant. And then we have a downward concentrated load at the end, which will bring us back to shear force equal to 0. At point A, we didn't have any concentrated moments applied, so we don't have any jumps. And the change in moment was determined by calculating this area, which is 8, and the intensity of shear was constant. So the slope of our moment diagram will be constant. At point C, we have a counterclockwise or negative concentrated moment with a magnitude of 24. So positive 8 minus 24, we're going to have a jump, which will bring us to a moment equal to negative 16. And from point C to point B, we don't have any concentrated moments. And the change in moment could be determined by calculating this area, which was 16 kilonewton meter. Negative 16 plus positive 16 will bring us back to bending moment equal to 0. And since the intensity of our shear was constant, the slope of our moment diagram will remain constant between points C and B. So we could connect these 2 points by drawing a straight line with a slope of positive 4. Now, in the next example, we're going to have the same simply supported beam, but this time we're going to apply a clockwise moment with the same magnitude at this point C. So this will be our new beam. And if you draw the free body diagram of this beam and determine the support reactions by writing the equations of equilibrium, you should get a downward concentrated load at point A with a magnitude of 4 and an upward concentrated load at the end with a magnitude of 4. And if we draw the shear diagram, it will be very similar to this beam, but this time we have a negative or downward jump. We don't have any other concentrated loads applied in between, so the shear will remain constant to negative 4. And at point B, we have a positive or upward jump with a magnitude of 4. So negative 4 plus positive 4 will bring you back to shear force equal to 0. For the moment diagram, at this point A, we don't have any concentrated moments again. So we won't have any jump in the moment diagram. And we're going to start at the origin. Between A and C, there's no concentrated moments applied. So this area here, or negative 4 multiplied by 2, or negative 8, will be the change in moment between A and C. And since MA was equal to 0, MC will be equal to negative 8. And the intensity of shear is constant between these 2 points. So the slope of our moment diagram will be constant. So we can draw a line with a slope of negative 4 between point A and C. At point C, we have a positive or clockwise moment applied with a magnitude of 24. So negative 8 plus 24 will bring us to a moment equal to positive 16. Between C and B, we don't have any concentrated moments applied. So this area will be the change in our moment. 4 multiplied by negative 4, or negative 16. So positive 16 plus negative 16 will bring us back to a moment equal to 0. And the intensity of shear is constant, equal to negative 4. So the slope of our moment diagram between C and B will remain constant, and we can draw a straight line with a slope of negative 4 between these 2 points. So these are the shear force and bending moment diagrams for this beam. You can see that the magnitude of our maximum shear force was equal to 4 in both beams, and the maximum magnitude of our moment was equal to 16. Now in the next 2 examples, we're going to move these 2 concentrated moments 1 meter to the right. So if we draw the free body diagram for this beam and write the equations of equilibrium, we can see that the support reactions doesn't change by moving this concentrated moment. So similar to example 7, we're going to have a By equal to negative 4 and Ay equal to positive 4. So this is how your free body diagram will look like for example 9. And your shear diagram will exactly be the same. So we have an upward jump here. This is positive 4. The shear doesn't change in between. And finally at point B, we have a downward jump, which will bring us to a shear force equal to 0. At point A, we don't have any concentrated moments. So we won't have any jump in our moment diagram. And this will be our MA. Between A and C, we don't have any concentrated moments. So the change in moment between these 2 points will be this area here, which is equal to +4 multiplied by 3 or 12 kilonewton meter. MA was equal to 0. The change in shear between A and C was +12. So 0 plus 12 will be the value of our moment at point C, or somewhere around here. This is +12. Between A and C, we don't have any concentrated moments applied. So the slope of our moment diagram at any point will be equal to the intensity of our shear at that point. And since this intensity is constant, equal to +4, we can connect these 2 points by drawing a straight line. And the slope of this line is 12 divided by 3, or +4. At point C, we have a counterclockwise or negative moment with a magnitude of 24. So +12 minus 24 will bring you to a moment equal to -12. This is -12. Between C and B, we don't have any concentrated moments applied. So the change in moment will be the area of our shear diagram between these 2 points, or this area, which is equal to +4 multiplied by 3, or +12. So the moment at point C is equal to -12. The change in shear between C and B is +12. So -12 plus +12 will bring you to this point, where moment equal to 0. And since we don't have any concentrated moments applied between point C and B, we can say that the slope of our moment diagram at any point in between will be equal to the intensity of our shear at that point, which is constantly equal to 4. So the slope of our moment diagram will also remain constant and will be equal to +4. So these are the shear force and bending moment diagrams for this simply supported beam with a counterclockwise moment with a magnitude of 24 kilonewton meter applied in the middle. And this is a similar beam, but this time with a clockwise moment. You can see that by moving these concentrated moments, the shear diagrams didn't change. So the maximum magnitude of shear is still equal to 4. But the moment diagram changed, and the maximum magnitude of moment is equal to 12. And these are how your shear force and bending moment diagrams for the 2 cases where your concentrated moments are applied at a distance 2 meters from the right end.